Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So, if you watched yesterday's video, you'll know that we were discussing the next collab that is coming up in Street Fighter Duel. Now, this video isn't strictly about that, although it is going to factor into what we're going to talk about, okay? So, the title that's in the thumbnail, Have Your Say, is true. I want to give you guys the opportunity to have your say on what I'm about to talk about, and the feedback I get from you guys I will be responding to in a future video, and also I will be delivering those feedbacks to the staff because it'll become apparent when I start talking, right? So obviously, if you're not aware, the game is not doing as well now as it was doing, which can be natural for quite a lot of games. However, the drop off in Street Fighter is quite steep, right? So obviously they're making efforts to try and win players back and encourage players to continue playing. And things like this new collaboration and having a look at the pity situation is probably what they're looking at doing to try to encourage those players to come back. Now, I've spoken to staff and I've said that, in my opinion, I don't necessarily think that's enough to get players to come back, right? The things that I've suggested are we need to have more free-to-play units, so actual dedicated free-to-play unit. So I'm meaning like along the lines of Fashion Blanca, something that is a complete free-to-play unit. Maybe do that 3 times a year, 4 times a year, something like that. They have to introduce pity, which is something we've spoke about already. If they're not willing to introduce pity at a decent level, they have to do something to make it less dupes required for a new unit, for example. That's the type of suggestions that I've made, and to be honest, I don't necessarily know if it's enough to win back players. Possibly it will be enough to keep players playing, but I don't know if it will make people who've maybe quit the game come back to the game, which I feel like is important. Now, I know that a lot of people that watch my content still play the game. However, I know there's a lot of people who used to play the game who no longer play the game but still support me by watching the content. So what I want to know from you guys, in your opinion, what would it take to make the player base happier, right? What would it take if you are a lapsed player? What would it take for you to consider coming back, right? I know for some people, when you're finished, that's it, you're done. You won't come back, right? Which is fair, you know what I mean? Once bitten, twice shy, completely understand it. But if you're someone who enjoyed the game, but you would like to see certain improvements, what would those improvements be? Let me know that in the comments down below, because what I'm going to be doing in a future video is going over them, going over the best replies, going through them in the video, and not only am I going to verbally tell them about what you guys think, I'm going to show them. Like, I'm actually going to show them the comments, show them what people are saying. So if you can, try and keep the language in check, because they're not going to take it seriously if I've just got hundreds of people saying, oh, this is shit, and all the rest of it. Now, we've also got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles upcoming, and there is going to be 4 units with that, okay? Now, I've detailed to you guys what I think should happen, which would be 4 units, 4 different styles, 1 free to play, 1 standard unit, 1 legend, 1 in the special summoning pool. I don't think they're going to do that. That blows my mind, because the only other way I can think of it working is 1 will be a legend, maybe 2 will be a legend, 1 will go into the divination pool, and the other 1 will be a special summon, although I'm really worried that they'll all just be special summons because Nero has not performed that well, so they might think that people just don't like legends. But to be honest, I don't really think that's what the issue is. I think that the issue is more people don't want to spend on something that they don't think is rewarding. So what I also want to know in the comments down below is 2 things. 1, if you are someone who spends money on gacha games, if this is a game that you maybe used to spend money on and you haven't purchased Nero, for example, is that because you didn't rate the unit, or is that because you basically do not want to reward a developer who is not showing respect to their player base, right? Is that the reason? Is there another reason? Let me know in the comments down below. I know that question's a little bit skewed towards people who pay, but it is important because if they are going to grade do people like Legends based on Nero, then we kind of need to know going forward if it's because Nero as a unit was less desirable, or if it was because simply not doing it anymore, not supporting this, right? Also, how would you like to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab playing out? Now, I know ideally you would all like the units to go into the standard summoning pool. Who wouldn't? But I think we need to put a slight degree of realism into what they are likely to do. I don't think there's even the remotest possible chance that they would allow all of the turtles to be summonable with standard currency like arcade tokens, etc. There is one other really out there suggestion that I've heard, and you know what? If they took this suggestion on board, maybe it would work, which would be, and this is just a suggestion I've heard, I won't tell you where I've heard it from, but if all the turtles went into the special summoning pool, right? So all of them, every single one, they went into the special summoning pool. When you summoned your first copy, right? Only your first copy, they would instantly be SS, okay? Which would mean you would still need 6 dupes to get them up to triple S. However, you would get them at a usable level, okay? Not max potential with vehicles, but fighting spirit unlocked. How would that appeal to a player base? Would that be something that would be appealing, or would it still have you in the same position where you just think, no, it's too many tickets, it's whatever, I don't want to do that? Would that be a suggestion that would work for you? Would you have a better suggestion? Let me know this in the comments down below. I'll probably break the follow-up video into 2 categories, which is, would you come back and why would you come back, or would you never come back? And how would you like to see the collab handled? I know the general feeling from a lot of people, because I've had DMs, I've had messages, I've had lots of things talking about this, is just literally, what the hell, why are we having monthly or bi-monthly collabs? It's just too much, right? Feel free to comment that in the comments if you wish, right? Because I will pass it on. I just want to know that if you want to see the game succeed, which some people don't, but if you do, how do you think they can achieve that? I've given my points of view. I feel like my points of view will probably line up with a lot of you guys' points of view, but if I can actually have it in the words of the community, I can show them and I can say, look, here is what your community is saying, try listening to them. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. 2 questions really. 1, what do you think it will take for players to come back? And if you have left, would you ever come back and why? And 2, what would you like to see from this collab, and how do you think the collab can realistically function and not just be a massive cash grab where everybody's expected to spend thousands? Anyway guys, I'd love your feedback on this one. I've been Hayzink, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.